Like in reference to the movie?
Talking about the music today. One of the original genres that's come out as a result of our generation, highly debated. Some people would argue it's not really a musical genre because they don't think it's really music. It's dubstep. Anyone in our audience here live, or anyone watching on our show on the Facebook page on Be Heard TV, who doesn't know what dubstep is, lucky for you, we have a quick clip to show you exactly what the genre of dubstep sounds like.
Breath. Let your body relax. Feel yourself relaxing.
So that shows you an example of what dubstep sounds like. So I'll open it up with a couple of pretty big questions regarding dubstep. Number one, I want to hear from you guys each whether or not you consider dubstep a genre of music. Do you count it as music? And then the second question, getting back to our main question for the night, is what does the emergence of the genre dubstep say about our cultural identity as it stands today?
Well, I consider dubstep a genre, definitely. It's just not a genre that I enjoy or like or enjoy being around.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't personally listen to dubstep. However, some people would consider it music, and I suppose I have to agree with them on that. I think that dubstep is becoming more and more popular because it's something that I think anyone can do. Maybe I'm going to get attacked for that, but I think it's easily emulated, and therefore people are like, well, if I go home and pound on a trash can, I can make this too, and then everybody thinks they can do it, and that just becomes the most popular thing.
Yeah, I mean, anything can be music. I agree with both of my panelists here. You know, I'm not into it. I'm not into dubstep at all, but you know what? My brother actually is, and he's actually, he can like dance to it and everything. He's really good at it. But maybe, I don't know. I think it's just another type of music. It's just different. Just because we don't like it doesn't mean other people don't. And, you can make anything out of music. I don't care what it is. It's noise. I mean, you can make, music out of the ABCs. I mean, or anything. Words, just anything. So it's just another type of music. And, I think people are into it. I don't know.
I'm going to take a quick break from up here. I'll get back to you in just a sec, Foster. We have some audience input. I'd like to hear from you, and then I'll hear what Foster has to say, too.
Well, you guys just keep describing dubstep as just all these noises, but when you look into dubstep, there's all kinds of just music theory and stuff that's put into it, just the notes and everything, and it takes hours upon hours. And the dubstep artists, I would consider them musical geniuses because they are essentially making symphonies with just different sounds, and they do make it sound good, like to music theory. And I mean, there are some dubstep artists that don't understand the whole music theory aspect, and it is a bunch of noise, but I do think there is good dubstep, and I don't think you can all attribute it just to noises.
Foster?
Yeah, I love dubstep. I was just going to say, I think dubstep is just sort of a testimony to our new culture, and what it is, it's total anarchy, and there's just crazy stuff going on with it, but at the same time, there's a structure to it that these dubstep artists find the equilibrium between the anarchy and the structure and just make beautiful music out of it. So I love dubstep.
I definitely see that in dubstep, but one of the things I usually look at in music is like melody. You don't really see much melody in dubstep like you might see melody in, say, a Beatles song.
Well, and Foster, I tend to agree with you. I don't like all dubstep, but I certainly like a few songs that are dubstep, and I agree with you that it's kind of raw, and it sounds it speaks to certain emotions. It speaks kind of like to revolution. I think somewhat in the same way that rock and roll did in the 50s. And as we established earlier, we think that we all would agree that rock and roll had a serious effect on the future of culture and the way that human culture went from beyond that generation, that decade. So where do you think that dubstep is going to bring our culture, both musically and just societally, in the future, based on that?
I don't know. I think as time goes on, it was a great question that he just asked. I'm not discounting it at all. They do make symphonies, and it is very beautiful. And I'm sure it takes, a great amount of talent to do it. So that was actually a great question. And I think it'll just keep getting better and better, like, all sorts of music. And I think it'll be getting bigger and bigger, as time goes on. It'll just get bigger and better, And I don't know if it'll really change anything, but,
I think dubstep teaches a great lesson to our culture because as a music, sometimes it sounds like chaos. It sounds like anarchy. And I think in life, in general, things are never, ever going to be perfect. And you just have to learn how to deal with all that chaos. And a lot of people just can't deal with all that chaos, and they have OCD about it, and they say, oh, this music sucks because I can't predict the order of it and all that stuff. Well, guess what? You can't predict the order of life. So why try to do that? Figure out how to deal with the chaos. Listen to dubstep.
All right. Thanks, Buster.